It's midnight and you're watching Nightline with me, Liyana Hassanel. The top stories. Japanese firms to invest 30 billion ringgit in Malaysia, says PM. And stop finding faults, topple others, let the country be harmonious, urges Sultan Nazrin Shah. Good morning. Japanese companies have expressed commitment to invest upwards of 30 billion ringgit in Malaysia this year. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, who received a courtesy call from his counterpart Fumio Kishida on Sunday, said the commitment was made by Japanese companies that were already investing in Malaysia without exception to increase and expand their development in the country.
This is very impressive from companies that is already investing in Malaysia, who without exception made this commitment with the ambassador present that they all had committed themselves to increase and extend and expand their development into Malaysia.
Kishida said through developing an enabling investment environment, activities of Japanese businesses will be able to be pushed forward. Anwar and Kishida had a lengthy meeting on Sunday to discuss bilateral relations, especially in the fields of trade and investment, education, defense, environment and energy security, as well as information and communication, during which Kishida affirmed Japan's stance to strengthen their cooperation with Malaysia in these areas. Following Sunday's meeting, Anwar said he is pleased with Japan's commitment to support ASEAN initiatives, including 5-point consensus that aimed to bring peace to Myanmar. Malaysia also expressed hope for greater cooperation between the country and Japan in the tertiary education sector to boost the quality of human capital in the two countries. Anwar said both countries have agreed with plans to expedite the process for the development of Tsukuba University branch campus in the country, planned to be open in Malaysia in September next year. Kishida's inaugural two-day visit to Malaysia from Saturday held special significance as it coincided with the commemoration of the 50th anniversary of ASEAN-Japan friendship and cooperation this year. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim expressed Malaysia's gratitude for Japan's unwavering commitment to addressing Israeli settlements in Palestine and for providing extensive humanitarian aid to the war-torn Gaza Strip. He also commended Japan's support for peace and stability noting the devastating impact of the recent bombings in Gaza.
I must commend Prime Minister Kishida for his commitment. Number one is against the settlements by Israelis into Palestine, and secondly for his support so that there is peace in the region and total humanitarian assistance into Gaza.
He said Malaysia eagerly anticipates collaborating with Japan, currently a member of the United Nations Security Council, UNSC, to alleviate the suffering of the Palestinian people.
まず緊張が高まるイスラエル・ガザ情勢について議論をしました。私から日本の立場を説明しつつ、すべての当事者が国際法に従って行動すべきこと、周辺国への波及防止と事態の早期沈静化が重要であること。
As the world condemns the Zionist regime's atrocities against Palestine, Israeli bombardments on Gaza show no signs of abating. Instead, the strikes are intensifying. The latest Zionist airstrikes targeted the Al-Maghazi refugee camp, where a cluster of houses were destroyed. More than 50 Palestinians are killed and hundreds more are wounded. Israel, however, claimed that it is targeting Hamas, not civilians, and that the group is using residents as human shields, a claim that has been a subject of debate and controversy around the globe. It was also reported that the Zionists' intense bombardment, violent artillery explosions, and airstrikes targeted the Al-Quds hospital in Gaza's Tal al-Hawa area. Not only that, the Zionist regime's attack in Jabalia refugee camp killed 6 Palestinians, while its shelling also destroyed the main water source in the camp. Over in West Bank, at least 3 Palestinians were killed and 36 others were arrested as the Israeli forces stormed the town, claiming Hamas was living in the area. To date, the death toll both in Gaza as well as in West Bank have surged to nearly 10,000 people. Finding fault humiliating, spreading slander, and conspiring to topple one another should stop so that the country can progress and the people are more prosperous. The Sultan of Perak, Sultan Nazrin Shah, said the feeling of humanity and being humanitarian should be merged and reflected in words and actions.
Hentikan perlumbaan mencari keburukan. Hentikan perbuatan aib mengaibkan. Hentikan kerja-kerja menyebar fitnah. Hentikan usaha meruntuh dan memusnahkan. Hentikan konspirasi jatuh menjatuhi agar dunia lebih aman, negara lebih tenteram dan rakyat hidup lebih sejahtera.
Sultan Nazrin said this at the Perak Darul Ridwan Pledge of Loyalty and Investiture Ceremony in conjunction with the 67th birthday of His Highness at Istana Iskandaria in Kuala Kangsar on Sunday. His Highness decreed that in the pursuit of the state's prosperity and the well-being of the people, the Menteri Besar and State Executive Council members should uphold the trust bestowed on them and not to disappoint the people who gave them the mandate to govern. Sultan Nazrin said the hopes of the people who want a government that is based on the law with integrity, clear of corruption, and does not abuse power must be realized together. In other news, Sultan Nazrin said that Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al-Mustafa Billah Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Azizah Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria have proven that the monarch transcends the role of a symbolic unifier, but serves as a living bond connecting the people, the nation and the throne. The Perak Sultan said that Their Majesty's compassionate nature not only strengthened the connection between the people and the monarchy, but also enhanced the people's respect for the royal institution.
Baginda berdua berperanan bagaikan ibu dan ayah kepada setiap rakyat Malaysia. Sifat baginda berdua menyantuni rakyat, bukan sahaja merapatkan hubungan rakyat dengan raja, malah memperkukuhkan hubungan Sabah dan Sarawak dengan kerajaan persekutuan, juga meningkatkan penghargaan rakyat kepada institusi raja.
According to Sultan Nazrin, Al-Sultan Abdullah would be etched in history for steering through unprecedented challenges during his tenure as the 16th Yang di-Pertuan Agong. His Majesty gracefully steered the ship of state through the transitions of 4 prime ministers and 4 different cabinets, while overseeing the appointment of 3 prime ministers. His Majesty's reign unfolded in the shadow of the global COVID-19 pandemic, which necessitated the imposition of stringent movement control orders. In the face of critical national issues, Al-Sultan Abdullah displayed a remarkable commitment to a culture of high-level consultation by extending invitations to his brother rulers from the respective states, fostering a collective spirit of scaling the same mountain and sharing the same burden. In his speech, the Perak ruler also extended appreciation to Al-Sultan Abdullah, who will conclude his term on January 30th next year. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim agreed that there should be no delay in the Kampung Sungai Baru development project, which was postponed after almost 6 years. Titi Wangsa Member of Parliament Datuk Seri Johari Abdul Ghani confirmed the matter, saying that he was informed about the matter last month.
Pejabat PMO bagi sampai 31 Oktober. So now there's no more extension. Jadi kalau tak ada tempat tinggal, bandaraya akan koordinate lah. Jadi kalau setakat dia nak dapat lagi sikit, itu tak ada masalah. Tapi Setiausaha Politik PM dekat Kementerian Wilayah ni dah beritahu no more extension. Pasal dia tak boleh tunggu, orang dah lama tunggu ni. Kan takkan nak bagi extension sampai bila nak habis. Kan bila nak siap, dia orang ni dalam masa 1-2 bulan ni dah kena selesai lah.
He also expressed his appreciation to the Prime Minister for agreeing not to allow any further delays in the project. He said this to reporters after handing out Deepavali donations to 700 families of the Indian community in the Titi Wangsa parliamentary constituency in Taman Maluri. Last February, the residents of Kampung Sungai Baru submitted a memorandum requesting the government to cancel the postponement of the development project in the area, as announced by the Prime Minister. The Kampung Sungai Baru land acquisition issue involves 67 terrace house units and 14 apartment blocks known as Sungai Baru Apartments, with the land acquisition process starting in 2016. Some residents, especially residents of terrace houses, did not agree with the compensation rate of 400 ringgit per square foot set by the Land and Mines Office of the Federal Territory of Kuala Lumpur. The Human Resources Ministry will conduct nationwide operations to look into the plight of Bangladeshi workers in Malaysia. Its Minister V. Sivakumar said the operations were to ensure there were no elements such as unfavourable living environments and debt bondage.
Dan saya juga mahu supaya sesiapa sahaja yang terlibat dalam hal ini supaya tidak mengulangi perkara-perkara seperti ini, dan kita mahu menghindari daripada berlakunya unsur-unsur buruh paksa di negara kita.
Sivakumar said this based on a local media report about activist Andy Hall, who has written a letter to the Office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights, OHCHR, a body under the UN Human Rights Council, UNHRC, in Switzerland, alleging that hundreds of Bangladeshi workers were struggling in debt bondage and without jobs in this country. The Domestic Trade and Cost of Living Ministry, KPDN, has swiftly enacted a comprehensive 3-step plan following the removal of subsidies and price control effective November 1st. Its acting minister, Dato' Armizan Muhammad Ali, said that the ministry has immediately adopted various methods to address the chicken price issue. Alif Yunus reports.
Pertama adalah untuk kita penguasaan dan juga pemantauan itu diperkasakan. Yang kedua adalah untuk melaksanakan mitigasi secara bersasar mengikut lokaliti. Dan yang ketiga adalah melaksanakan intervensi apabila berlakunya sesuatu isu.
Armizan said enforcement and monitoring will be conducted through the implementation of the Price Control and Anti-Profiteering Act, as well as the Competition Act, if necessary. He added that targeted mitigation measures will also be implemented in specific areas, addressing issues observed in certain locations.
Amid soaring chicken prices and the end of the subsidies, the government's plan raises questions. Will these measures ensure affordable access to poultry products?
Through a survey conducted at Taman Tun Dr. Ismail on Sunday, some traders stressed the importance of stricter government interventions towards suppliers.
Saya rasa kerajaan pun dia orang boleh kawal harga ayam ni. Tak ada masalah bagi dia orang. Dia orang boleh pantau daripada ladang ke pusat yang proses pun dia pergi supply dekat pasar-pasaran, dia orang boleh kawal.
Kerajaan atau kementerian lah kena fokus kepada pembekal peternak, itulah. Sebab diorang ni yang memainkan harga-harga ni semua, diorang. Sebab macam peniaga macam kita ni, kita yang akan kena.
Meanwhile, consumers also hope that continuous monitoring and the use of a more accurate data system can provide clarity regarding the quantity of chicken available in the market, assisting in determining a fair and stable price.
Bergantung kepada pihak berkuasa yang bertanggungjawab tu lah. Jalankan tanggungjawab dia orang kan. Macam mana? Samping tu kena gunakan apa ni? Teknologi yang sedia ada lah. Contoh macam data. Kan? So bila ada data yang banyak tu kita boleh buat keputusan yang lebih tepat lah. Kan berapa jumlah ayam ada kat pasaran semua kan.
Maybe it's effective for long term lah. For at the moment due to our economic crisis and everything, right? People are suffering. So now if these things persistently, if let's say the suppliers, providers, they increase, definitely they hit on the customers.
Alif Yunus reporting for Nightline TV3.
Hostage standoff over at Hamburg Airport. News from the Foreign Front when we return. Foreign Front. Singapore Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong has announced on Sunday he will hand over the leadership of the ruling People's Action Party, PAP, before the 2025 general elections. Lee said that he would hand the reins to Deputy Prime Minister Lawrence Wong as soon as the PAP's 70th anniversary in November 2024. He added that Wong had proved himself as head of the government's COVID-19 task force during the pandemic, and there is no reason to delay the political transition. Wong, a former Minister for Finance and National Development, gained prominence overseeing Singapore's COVID response, which achieved one of the world's lowest rates of illness and death during the early days of the pandemic. A hostage situation at Hamburg Airport has concluded on Sunday with the suspect and his daughter exiting a car, ending an 18-hour ordeal that had closed northern Germany's busiest airport. According to officials, the suspect was arrested without resistance and the child appeared not to be injured. Authorities said a custody dispute is believed to be the cause of the incident, with the wife of the driver placing an emergency call alerting police to the abduction of her child. The incident began on Saturday when the suspect drove through a security barrier and onto the tarmac, fired 2 shots in the air and threw 2 burning bottles out of the vehicle. The incident caused the disruption of several flights in and out of the airport. Search and rescue efforts after an earthquake in Nepal wrapped up on Sunday as the focus shifted to providing relief to survivors awaiting food and shelter for the victims. Rescuers were scrambling to rush aid as operations were hampered by the fact that many of the mountainous villages could only be reached by foot. Altogether, 105 people died in Jajarkot and another 52 in neighbouring Rukum district, with more than 100 left injured. At least 157 people were killed in isolated western districts of the Himalayan country when the 5.6 magnitude earthquake hit late Friday, leaving many survivors spent the night under the open sky as their mud houses reduced to piles of rubble. Junhao wins the 2023 KL Masters. Sports after this breather. Sports badminton, the 2023 KL Masters. National young shuttler Liang Junhao ousted Taiwan's Li Chiahao in the final on Sunday, fulfilling his bid to claim the inaugural title. Despite being the second choice for the tournament, Junhao displayed unwavering confidence and powerful skills as he fearlessly took on Xiao Hao, who was originally favourite as the top pick. Following an intense 43-minute battle, world number 43 Junhao clinched the title by thrashing Xiao Hao 20-20, 21-13. In the mixed doubles, Malaysia's Chan Peng Soon Chia Yi Si secured the title after beating Pakapon Thiraratsakul Pataimas Muan Wong of Thailand. The national duo outperformed the Thai pair in rubber sets 21-9, 17-21, 21-10. In the men's doubles event, the dreams of the Malaysian pair Loh Hang Yi and Ng Eng Cheong to claim the title were dashed as they lost to Taiwan's Chen Cheng Kwan and Chen Sheng Fa. The world number 49 independent pair was outclassed by the 72nd ranked duo in straight sets 21-23, 17-21. On to football now. Harry Kane marked his first appearance in DR Klassiker in stunning fashion with a hat-trick as Bayern Munich thrashed Borussia Dortmund 4-0 away on Saturday. Dayo Upamecano headed a fast-starting Bayern in front after 4 minutes before the England striker slotted in from close range 5 minutes later, with both goals created by Leroy Sané. A stunned Dortmund side improved after the break, but Kane, Bayern's record signing, grabbed his second goal to seal the points in the 72nd minute, again from close range. Kane then put the icing on the cake by completing his third hat-trick of the season in stoppage time. With this win, Bayern has earned 26 points, 2 points behind the league leaders, Bayer Leverkusen. When Nightline returns, two remanded over alleged illegal disposal of hazardous waste. Welcome back. In Johor, a trailer driver and his conductor have been remanded for 4 days starting on Sunday to assist in a case involving the suspected illegal disposal of hazardous scheduled waste near Kampung Pemuda Jaya in Silong, Kulai early Saturday morning. The remand order was issued by Kulai Magistrate Court's Azurin Sahira Salfi Afandi following an application from the State Department of Environment DOE. Both suspects, aged 46 and 48, are being detained to enable further investigation under the Environmental Quality Act. They could face mandatory imprisonment of up to 5 years and a maximum fine of 500,000 ringgit if found guilty. On Saturday, the duo were nabbed by officers from the Senai Police Station while allegedly illegally disposing of hazardous scheduled waste from a trailer into a waterway that connects to the Sungai Tebrau. Are you a fan of the Percy Jackson books? You might be surprised to learn that a Malaysian's artwork features on the covers of this best-selling fantasy series. FMT's Dinesh Kumar Maganathan has the story.
Khadija Khatib was just 14 when she started reading Rick Riordan's best-selling Percy Jackson series. Little could she have known that 12 years later, she would be the artistic wizard behind the UK edition book covers for this epic series.
I couldn't really grasp my head around it at first because it's a really big series, you know. At one point, I wasn't sure if I could even accept the job because I already had a lot of jobs, but also it felt like it's a bit too difficult to pass on this opportunity, you know.
And she's glad she didn't because the public response has been really encouraging.
I think a lot of people are also shocked that the one illustrating the books now is a Malaysian. I think they didn't expect that. Even the international followers are very excited for the covers, and a lot of people are trying to hunt the covers down. The thing is, because it's a UK edition.
Before this spellbinding chapter unfolded, Khadija was already making waves as a book cover illustrator. The 26-year-old's previous works include The Marvellous by Doniel Clayton and Noora and the Immortal Palace by M.T. Khan. Khadija's artistic journey began at age 9 when her parents took her to art workshops. Comics and manga were her playground during her secondary school days, but she says she truly found her artistic voice while pursuing her tertiary education.
I feel like it's realistic but also graphic. It can be quite dark sometimes, but not too dark as well. It has a bit of edge.
Khadija says a unique blend of alternative music, fashion and photography fuels her creative spirit. And in the future, she dreams of trying her hand at darker works, like reimagining the covers of Stephen King's spine-tingling classics.
I think just embracing your own art style, because I feel like a lot of illustrators now are kind of like lost on how they want to mold their work or like what direction they're going in. I feel like they should just embrace whatever they like and go in that direction fully.
Dinesh Kumar Maganathan, FMT Lifestyle for Nightline.
As we wrap up Nightline this time around, let's take a look as the 2023 Red Bull Dual Ascent attracted 24 of the world's best climbers, who formed 12 mixed teams with the goal of conquering a route featuring 2 parallel paths and demanded a combination of strength, agility and strategic thinking. With that, I'm Liyana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and be well, Malaysia.